Bea, I survived a shipwreck, and today I want to tell you what happened that night. I never thought the sea could go silent. You grow up thinking it's all movement and noise, waves, wind, gulls, life. But the night the aurora star went down, the ocean turned into a graveyard, and for a while I thought I would be buried in it too. We left Nassau early that morning, a small group of tourists heading to St. Thomas on a private cruise. Nothing fancy, just a 3-day trip on a medium-sized yacht. The sky was so blue it almost looked fake. I remember standing on deck, taking photos of the sunlight on the water, thinking it was one of those moments you want to freeze forever. There were 9 of us on board, 6 passengers, 3 crew. Everyone seemed relaxed, laughing, drinking. The captain said a small storm was forming far to the east. Nothing to worry about. Those words still echo in my head sometimes. Nothing to worry about. By evening, the horizon looked strange. The light faded too fast, and the wind began to change. It had weight to it, like something pressing against your chest. The waves grew restless, like they were warning us. I remember the first thunderclap. It sounded far away, like the sky was cracking open over someone else's world. But it was coming for ours. We were having dinner in the cabin when the first hit came. The boat tilted sharply, plates crashing to the floor, someone shouting. The captain yelled, "Everyone on deck! Life vests now!" The sound of rain was deafening. I grabbed my phone and my backpack, like any of that mattered. When I stepped outside, the wind nearly threw me off my feet. The sky was black, no stars, no moon, just flashes of lightning that made everything look like broken photographs. The waves were massive, crashing over the railings, swallowing the deck. The captain and 1 crewman were trying to release the lifeboats, shouting over the wind, but the ropes kept slipping through their hands. I could barely see who was who anymore. Every flash of light showed faces frozen in panic. Then came the wave, the one that ended everything. It hit from the side, taller than the boat itself. I heard someone scream, "Hold on!" But there was nothing to hold. The deck disappeared beneath my feet, and suddenly I was in the air, falling, spinning, then under. The ocean was chaos. Salt filled my mouth, burning my throat. I didn't know which way was up. My life vest yanked me toward the surface, and when I broke through, all I could see were flashes of lightning and the outline of the ship, half submerged, tilted, lights flickering like dying stars. Then it vanished beneath the water, taking the screams with it. For a moment, everything went quiet. The sea calmed just enough to let me hear my own breathing, ragged and terrified. Pieces of debris floated around me, a cooler, a life ring, someone's shoe. I called out again and again. No answer, just thunder rolling farther away like the storm was already done with us. I don't remember how long I drifted before I found the life raft. It was one of the small emergency inflatables, half filled with water, torn on one side. I climbed in anyway. The waves rocked me back and forth, each one threatening to flip me over. My body was shaking, my mind too numb to process what had just happened. I was alone, in the middle of an endless, dark sea. Hours passed. The storm eased, but the cold replaced it. I wrapped myself in a wet blanket I found inside the raft and tried to think. I had no idea where we were. My phone was dead, my backpack soaked. The only thing I had left was a small flashlight and a whistle. I blew it every few minutes, even though deep down I knew no one could hear. When dawn came, the world looked empty. The ocean stretched forever, calm, beautiful, and cruel. I thought I saw a bird in the distance, but it was just a piece of cloth floating. The sun rose, and I felt the heat instantly burning my skin. The salt from the water dried into a crust on my lips. I wanted to cry, but even my tears had turned to salt. That first day, I kept telling myself someone would find me. The Coast Guard, another ship, anyone. I tried to stay busy, counting the hours, rationing the few items left in the raft, a small water pouch, 2 flares, and a first aid kit. But when night fell again, the silence returned, the kind that makes you hear your own heartbeat echo inside your skull. That's when I saw it, a faint light far away, moving slowly across the horizon. I screamed, waved my flashlight, fired one of the flares. The red glow lit up the sea around me, and for a moment I swore the light stopped, like it saw me. Then it drifted away, gone. Just another trick of the ocean. I don't know what broke inside me after that. I started talking. To the sea, to myself, to the people I knew were gone. Maybe I just needed to hear a voice, even if it was my own. At one point, I thought I heard someone call my name. I turned, expecting to see a face, but there was only water. And then the dark came back. When the sun rose on the second day, I felt like I'd aged years overnight. My skin was raw, my lips split open. The sea looked calm, but it wasn't peaceful. It was indifferent. That's what I learned out there. The ocean doesn't care if you live or die. I tried to keep track of time by the sun, morning, noon, night, repeat. The raft drifted aimlessly, turning with the wind. I'd catch glimpses of birds far above, but none came close. I rationed my single pouch of water 1 sip at a time. By the afternoon, it was gone. The heat was unbearable. I used part of my torn shirt to cover my face, but it didn't help much. Every time I looked at the horizon, I imagined seeing a ship, a plane, anything. But there was nothing, just that endless blue. By nightfall, I was shaken from exhaustion. My stomach cramped, my throat burned. I started talking again, this time to my sister, or at least to the version of her that existed in my head. I told her I was sorry for missing her wedding last year, sorry for every small thing that suddenly felt heavy. It was strange how the mind pulls you into memories when reality starts to fade. That night, I dreamed of land, palm trees, sand under my feet, laughter. I woke up smiling until I realized I was still surrounded by nothing but water. The second night was the hardest. The waves grew stronger, slapping against the raft like they were mocking me. I held on to the ropes and prayed. I don't even know to what. The stars above looked so clear, so cold. I felt small, like I'd already disappeared from the world. At some point, I saw something floating near me, a piece of wood. I grabbed it and found a few letters still carved on it. A UR. Maybe part of the aurora star. It hit me then, really hit me. Everyone else was gone. I wasn't waiting to be rescued from an accident. I was surviving after it. On the third day, the heat broke me. My vision blurred. The sky shimmered. I started seeing things that couldn't be real. I saw the captain standing on the water, his coat torn, looking down at me. I heard laughter from somewhere far off. The kind of laughter that sounds familiar, but you can't place it. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, I saw a shadow overhead, dark wings gliding low. It was a seagull, a real one. I laughed, or maybe cried, because where there are birds, there's land, or at least something close to it. That tiny spark of hope pulled me through the last few hours. I used the paddle that came with the raft, cracked, barely holding together, and rowed toward the direction the bird had flown. Every stroke hurt, but stopping meant dying. By the time I saw the shape in the distance, I thought my mind was tricking me again, a gray blur on the horizon. But it grew larger, steadier. It was a ship, a fishing trawler. I waved my arms, screamed, burned the last flare. This time, the light didn't drift away. It turned toward me. I remember collapsing as they pulled me on board. I couldn't speak, couldn't stand. Just a hand on my shoulder, a voice saying, "You're safe now." I spent 2 weeks in the hospital after that. They said I was lucky. 3 days at sea, severe dehydration, second-degree burns. They called me a miracle, but I don't feel like one. When I close my eyes, I still hear the storm. I still see the lightning over the water, and sometimes, when I wake in the middle of the night, I swear I can taste salt in the air, like the ocean never really let me go. That's what survival feels like, Bea. Not victory, just a quiet kind of haunting.